Hello, welcome to the More Cheese, Less Whiskers.com podcast. My name is Dean Jackson, and today we've got Wendy Gardner. Now, Wendy is a skincare specialist in London or the UK, and she has a line of skincare products that she lovingly creates by hand with all the finest natural ingredients, offering sort of a really individualized approach to skincare. And she started out, we had a conversation talking about maybe how to differentiate the skincare line itself, but we settled on, in the second half of the conversation, more along the line of creating an experience and completely repositioning the way that we look at this. And, when we started out, I didn't really know how where this was going to go. As you know, when you're listening to these, I don't have any foreknowledge of what kind of the businesses or any kind of sort of idea of where I want things to go. But I think, by exploring who the target audience is and who is her ideal clients and the result that she could create for somebody, we settled on this idea of creating a 90-day experience for people where they get to go full immersion and bundled the products with an educational process. And so all of a sudden that does a lot of different things. First of all, it shifts attention away from the commoditized pricing element of your products, and it focuses 100% on the result at the end of the 90 days, of which the products were sort of incidental to that, or just one part of the journey of it. So I think this has a lot of potential, and I can't wait to see how Wendy takes this to the next level. So enjoy this episode. Wendy Gardner.
Dean Jackson, hello.
How are you?
I'm really well and super excited to be talking with you today. It's a real honor, and thank you very much.
Well, I'm excited. I have to thank you for my lovely gift when I was in London. I was doing my Breakthrough Blueprint event and got your lovely gift of your skincare. So thank you for that.
My pleasure. Oh.
Custom labeled and everything. I love that.
I had a little bit of help from one of my writing colleagues to get the label just right, so I'm glad you got it.
Oh, that's so funny. Perfect. So I'm sure you've listened to some of the episodes, so we've got the whole hour here to hatch some evil schemes for you. So why don't you tell me what's going on, and then where you think we might be able to focus our time.
Okay. So some background. I hand make facial products for women. It's a boutique business, and I'm the sort of main operator, well, essentially the only operator here, and it's high-end and handmade, and the direction I'm going, it's towards the affluent crowd. And, so that's, the ingredients I use are quite special and quite rare, and I've made a beautiful mousetrap now. So now the marketing side, I need to get that sorted. So what else I need to tell you about that? I've had a lot of success with the product on people who've bought it, and they've had amazing results. And that's just down to the ingredients and the formula. And though it's something really special, but there's no point in having the most amazing product if no one knows about it. So you've said on your podcast, it doesn't matter how good you are, but if no one knows about it, you can be very hungry.
That's exactly right. That's so funny. But it really does help when you do have a great product. I mean, when you've got the ability to create results for people, that's pretty amazing. So now, is it skincare or cosmetics, or skincare and cosmetics, or what kind of product?
It's skincare. It's organic, natural, vegan, wildcraft. It's just a sort of gentle nurturing. It's ticks all those boxes for rainforest friendly. It's taken all those things people are worried about, and I've focused on the face because people spend the money on that first, whereas the rest of the body they often neglect. And I do make everything from scratch. So I've got cupboards and things in the freezer and the fridge that I actually measure out, and there's a whole process to it. So I've perfected all that now. I've got EU approval. It's gone through a laboratory being injected with bacteria and fungus and all these nasty things so it's EU compliant. So so I've been spending the last few years focusing on getting the actual product solid and beautiful, and so that's a bit more background information.
Okay, and then is there specific problems that your skincare can solve for people, or is there a specific use that you're kind of the best option for? Where would it be? What would be the attraction?
Okay. In essence, I've taken complicated and long routines with multiple layers and levels of things, and I've condensed it all into a few items, so that people can use it even if they're very busy in the day. And I have an opt-in goodie that they get. It's a 60-second routine or something, and basically it doesn't matter how busy you are. You've got no excuse. You can have the best, and it works without having to spend massive time. So it would work on all skin types because I've found things that are common denominators and taken all because with normal products the makers use very dilute things and maybe put one or two little drops in for the great label appeal, but the product doesn't work, and you don't actually know until you've spent the money. So the kind of people that have been coming to me have been trying loads of things and nothing's worked, and they've come to me.
Okay, so when you say that nothing has worked, that's kind of what I'm looking for. Is what kind of things would your definition of worked include? So what would be the result that people are looking for that they've been disappointed in, and that your products can solve or get a better result for them?
Okay, so a couple of things. One would be where you put something on and your skin feels dry an hour or two later, or at the end, or would be the first thing. The other thing is if you've used something and your skin doesn't actually improve or look better, and one of the feedbacks I get is that skin actually starts looking younger and healthier. And one woman hunted me down when my website was completely down and everything, because she had heard that her best friend was getting compliments from her husband for looking young, and she really, really wanted to get the compliments as well. So it's that kind of thing where women are really concerned about keeping themselves looking good, for their own, just to boost your confidence. So
right.
It does actually
that's
work.
The kind of thing. So does it, would you say that if you took somebody who has not, say, been concerned with their skin care, and maybe their skin is drying and starting to show signs of aging, that if you were to intervene and they start using your product, that there would be a noticeable difference in, if we were to take pictures of them, would you be able to demonstrate a transformational difference for people?
I think the first thing they would feel, so yes, to answer your question, but the first thing that people say, and this has come back a few times, is they start touching their skin. So you can't really get that in a photo.
Right.
The feeling, and people have said they just want to keep stroking their face kind of thing, which I don't know how you transfer that. So it actually feels nice, and they actually want to do it. And I mean, the end goal is that you don't have to put makeup on to cover up bad skin. You can actually step outdoors and not, you don't have to, because people put makeup on to try and look as if there's nothing on the skin, but you don't have to do that if it looks great to start with. So
I got you. You mentioned that these ladies were getting compliments. It kind of reminds me of Gary Halbert years ago had a product that was an amazing facelift in a jar. And it was I think it was Pearl something, but it was the Japanese, secret that was out there. And their guarantee was that if somebody doesn't accuse you of having a facelift in the first 60 days, send it back and we'll give you a refund. But talk about that's pretty funny, right? Like if someone doesn't accuse you of having a facelift, that's the evidence, right? Like to set that stuff, because you basically have something that is largely invisible in its effect, right? Like on a day-to-day, when you really look at, we're the only ones who really look at our own skin really closely, right? When you really get to it, we're the ones that look in the mirror and see ourselves and sort of, dissect each part of it. But the reality is most people are sort of self-absorbed and are not really looking at your skin or care about what's going on with your skin. So it's kind of, it's definitely it's definitely something that's affecting the inner game of it, that you're the way you feel, which is and I'm not discounting that as a valid thing. I'm just trying to find that, is there a way to sort of make it real as well? Like, are there things where, like problematic things that can be solved with it? Like, is there, do you have an acne line, or do you have anything that would have a result with acne, or I'm
working with a
tell
woman.
me what kind of would be the skin thing. Yeah.
I'm working with a woman at the moment who's had adult acne, and she's using the items. So that's sort of ongoing, and I'll do something with that when it's done. But I've had people with eczema, sort of an itchy kind of conditions come to me, and so you're not allowed to say eczema or anything in your actual copy. It's illegal in the UK to say that.
Okay.
So the whole thing is, if the skin is fed and looked after, then those problems go away. So it's a matter of getting the skin. It's like taking vitamins and eating well. Whatever problems you had, they do go away because you've taken better care. So
Gotcha. Now, when you mentioned that they are sort of, I don't know what the word you used was, but I thought it was custom, or do you make unique batches, or are they for certain skin types, or is it specifically like for individuals?
I do have, to answer that, I have products that I have a formula for, and then I make up very small batches as I need to for those. So they're really fresh. And then I do have a service where I make up something that they might only order it once. So it's a recipe for that person for that time. So, and that's when I get to play with all the funky stuff. So like 24 karat gold or platinum or whatever. And then that's for one person, and it smells and feels exactly the way they've chosen. So I would like to get more of those kind of orders. So I'm not quite sure how to approach people in that market, because that's definitely high end, and it's not an area that they'd be a different person to me kind of thing that I'm ordering those. So that's the more.
That would be like like bespoke skincare kind of. Yeah. Okay. And then what have you got going on right now in the Before unit? What's your best way of getting new clients right now?
Okay. I'm relying on customers to spread the word, but I haven't been promoting that. So new people come to me through finding the website and signing up for the. I've got a booklet that gives people an overview of looking after themselves,
nice.
as well as the 60-minute routine. But it talks about gut health and nutrition. So even if they don't buy anything, they've got a lot of valuable information. So I have that, and then I'm working on improving like an automated follow-up for them when they do that. I've got a few emails that I set up, but I feel I need some direction on what I should be tackling in those. So today's chat is so valuable, because that's going to help me, see the way through. And then I've got a little sample kit that I put together so people can try everything. So that's the first thing I offer.
Okay.
And then when they get that, I've got a little sequence that I've built in conjunction with a friend, and a writing friend, and that's had really good feedback. And I've used your 9-word email with success as well. So,
good. Tell me about that. What happened? What was the 9-word email that you used?
I'm trying to think it offhand now. We sort of feminized it slightly, because the customers are quite, they're all women. And it was sort of, are you still looking for, I'm trying to think of the exact wording, but are you still looking for skincare or looking to improve your skin, something to that effect? And the last reply I had was, yes, of course. And then she wrote quite a long email, like a love letter from that. So that was quite informative. So it's like, yes.
I love it.
It works.
Yeah. It does work. I mean, especially when, your approach to the way that you do your products really lends itself to that personalized approach, because it really is sort of a personalized skincare line, right? You need to have some interaction with people to determine what the right thing is for them. How do you do that? How do you know or determine what's the right product? How many sort of variations of this do you have? Is it it's not like one thing for everyone, or it sounds like there's different elements that go into what's the right thing.
Are you talking about matching the skin problem?
Yeah, how do I know? Yeah, how do I know what's the right thing for me?
Yeah. Okay. Well, if I tell you that it's possible to make one item that does all sorts of things, so you only need one item. So, like, there's a facial oil that can go on skin that's dry or oily or combination. So instead of trying to split a range out across 3, and it gets rid of scarring. So I've tried to simplify things so that one product can be used in many situations rather than having a massive line and confusing people.
Okay, great. So it is. So you do have that in a way. So it's not.
So I can personalize and saying, if you've got scarring, then go for this, or what's your problem, then you need this. It might end up being the same product at the end, but I can offer that. And I do ask them when they sign up, I do ask them if, what's their biggest problem at the moment, what's your biggest struggle? And they'll come back and say lines on the forehead or red patches or, they're feeling around the eyes or whatever it is, they'll come back. But I'm not actually doing anything with those bits specifically, So, yeah.
I got it. Okay, so it's really, I don't know if you're familiar with Excedrin here in the U.S. Is that in the U.K. too? Excedrin is it's a pain reliever, like you would take it for headaches. But they very, famously, I've discovered, and I talk about it every time I do a talk about selecting a target market, that they have Excedrin extra strength, which is like their, pain reliever, headache pills. And then they also have Excedrin migraine, which sells for a premium and is exactly the same pill.
That's brilliant.
There's not a single different ingredient or amount or different ratio of it. It's the exact same pill in a different bottle labeled Excedrin migraine, because it's specific for, when you've got a migraine, if you're faced with the choices of, something, all these generic pain relievers, and you're faced with this situation here, that you've got a migraine, if you see something specifically labeled migraine, you're going to immediately gravitate to that. So I think there might be something there, that's transferable here. If you were to say, like, what are the specific problems that people would be dissatisfied with their current skincare, and they would say, it's because I'm this. I'm going to I'll tell you something that this reminds me of, that, and I'll tell you the story of it, and you tell me if how we might be able to transfer this. There was, several years ago, a diet pill that was on TV here in the States called Leptoprin. And it sounds like a pharmaceutical, right? But their commercial, they would run, 90-second television commercials. And their appeal for this was, it started out, when is a diet pill worth $153 a bottle? And then she would say, when it works. And it was, she would go on to describe that, Leptoprin is the most powerful weight loss formula. If you are one of these people who have 5 or 10 vanity pounds to lose, Leptoprin's not for you. It's far too powerful for the casual dieter. But if you have 20 or 30 pounds to lose, you need Leptoprin. Now, immediately, who do you think that's appealing to, first off? I mean, the people who have the 5 or 10 pounds to lose think, well, I just need to take a couple of these and I'll stop when I get too skinny,
but so clever.
Yeah, it's sold and sold and sold like crazy. And the difference, like, I don't believe that the difference in it was that the ingredients they were using or anything that they were using justified the price of $153 a bottle, but the positioning of it being $153 a bottle was a differentiator enough that everybody who's tried all of the $29, $39, $49 diet pills would say, no wonder those didn't work. This is the real stuff. This is what I need. I'm going to give this one a try, right? So it's immediately different than the others. Now, I didn't even really pay attention to it, but then a year or so later, I was in Washington, D.C., in Reston, Virginia, and I was watching on TV, and a commercial came on, and it started out like that with that leptoprin commercial. One is a diet pill worth $153 a bottle when it works, and then it zoomed out, and there was another woman looking at the TV saying, she's right. Leptoprin is the most powerful weight loss formula. But now, thanks to the folks at Generics Labs, you don't have to pay $153 a bottle. Now there's Leptopril. And so it immediately, and you could get that for $53 a bottle. And so it mirrored the pharmaceutical approach of a company comes out and they have a monopoly, and then there becomes a generic, which is the same formula for less money. And I thought, the only thing that would make this better is if it was the same company. And so I started looking into it, and it turns out I found this company that owned all of those diet pills that were on the market. And they were running specific diet pills for specific situations. They would have, and it was all that same format, making it look like a doctor, a woman in a lab coat with a stethoscope or something, looking like an authority saying all these specific things. So one woman would come in, maybe she's in her 50s, and she would say, ladies, remember when it was easy to lose 10 or 15 pounds? But now that we've hit menopause, it's not so easy to lose weight. That's why we need Estrin D, specifically formulated for the needs of menopausal women.
Oh.
And then they had another one, same kind of style. This woman in her 30s saying, ladies, have you tried everything to lose weight? Diet, exercise, nothing seems to work. You may be one of the millions of people with undiagnosed underactive thyroid, and you need Thyrin ATC. Now, you think about what they're doing here. Instead of one diet pill, and it may be one diet pill for all we know, right? But they're specifically saying that this is for menopausal women. This is for your, if you think you have a thyroid issue. And this is for if you have, you want to lose weight quickly and with the most powerful formula. And that was really an amazing way of kind of, segmenting the market in a way that really attracted all the friction, all the reasons that people think that they're not able to lose weight. So let's think about that from a skincare situation. Is there the equivalent of, the friction of why I can't have, that people, they're not happy with their skin? What would be the presenting things? Like, would it be my skin's too dry, or my skin's too oily, or my skin is blotchy, or what would be kind of those categories that lead to dissatisfaction with the general products that are on the market?
So skin being too sensitive,
Okay, so sensitive skin, right?
Yeah, the skin. Products that are vegan or animal products, so they contain animal extracts. Products that are synthetic or contain preservatives or sort of unhealthy things. Products with scent, scented products.
What was that last one? Sorry.
Oh, scent. Scented products with perfume or parfum in them.
And that's something they don't want. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. And the old chestnut about price or budget or whatever.
Now, part of the thing is how is your price? Do you have are you a premium product?
Yes.
Are you a
definitely premium, Dean? So and the reason for
that's great.
Yeah, so I'm looking for a smaller market, those 5-star prospects. So it's how do I get to those particular people? So
And so how much would your I'm not that familiar with how skincare products or the line works. So what would be the pricing for you compared to like other options?
Are you talking about skincare products or what women do to their skin? Oh, just the skincare. So they are in the premium range. The kit starts at $12, and then the next item starts at $59, and another off the shelf is $380, and things can keep going up if people want me to make something from scratch. So, so I've bundled together things to make it worthwhile. So then they get like a big savings, but I'm not calling it discounts or sales because that devalues
right.
You know, so I'm trying to be conscious of whatever I do, it needs to reflect the value without. So none of the emails ever have sale or buy one get one free. I'm avoiding all of that.
No. Yeah.
And what else?
Well, so the $59. Or is it 59 pound or whatever?
Yes.
Your 59 pound skincare. What are we getting for that? What is it that you're? Yeah.
So that would be a cleanser that's made with floral waters and essential oils and also I put 24 karat gold into that one because I could. And it just feels like, it sounds luxurious to be putting that on. And then the next one up would be about 69 pounds, and there's a tonic that you can spray on that helps your collagen, and it's really good for when you're at the computer and you can spray it on and your face, just keeps you going through the day. There's like oils, and then there's a moisturizer. I was thinking of introducing one that was less than 380 to get people as like introducing them. I don't know if you think that's a good idea.
The 380 pound.
It's very high.
What is it? I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm wondering.
No, it's definitely premium. But if they get in the kit, they don't end up paying that. So I was thinking of introducing an intermediate moisturizer. That's amazing, but it's not at the same level as that one. So maybe I take that idea of the painkiller and the most expensive one's called Heart of Eternity. Make that one for the extra dry skin, and then maybe that's what I can do with that one. So, and that's the 10 years off your face. Maybe I have a 5 years off your face.
And how much is that one? How much is that?
That is £380.
Okay. So let me ask you this. How long does something like that last? How often would they need to reorder that?
every 2 months.
Okay.
But what happens is when you start using all the products, you actually need to use less and less of it. So you can get away with so things can end up lasting you for 3 months. But as your skin gets healthier, you actually you don't need as much product on your skin after all. So initially they use more, but they'll kind of wean themselves off, and that's.
Yeah, I look at this. So I'm wondering now, like when whenever I start something, I'll always ask people, like, what's the very best thing that you could do for somebody, right? What's the very best result that you could get for them? Like if somebody came to you and they just would get out of the way and let you do the very best thing that you could do for them, what would the full regimen be that you could do for somebody? What would that include?
I would give them advice on what they were eating, their sort of lifestyle habits and things to improve the effects of the product.
Okay.
They may or may not need to have a bespoke. If they like the scents and the essential oils that are in it, then they wouldn't need to go to that level. But if they insisted, they could have everything made completely to them. I also do. I've got a copper still. I actually make floral waters. I'm actually phoning from the lab right now, so I can boil up flowers from someone's garden and make them a product with it or whatever. So I could, I can tweak it to whatever way. The result they'd get, their skin would feel softer. The lines would look less, and they'd be able to go. They'd be able to have a bare skin again. They'd be able to go outside and take up hobbies, and if they wanted to go wild water rafting or whatever, they could do all that. They could try things that they were ashamed or embarrassed, or like if they had spots, they would be able to have confidence to go dancing, that sort of thing. So,
and what would be the you mentioned earlier, like the 10 years off or the 5 years off, like what would that transform their situation? Are they going to, would this be, if done to your kind of best ability there, would it be able to be an alternative for people to doing fillers or Botox or facelift, or you think about all the things that people are doing? Would this be something that would be, a natural alternative to those kind of things, or would it lengthen the time that they have until they need to start doing something like that? Like where do you intervene? Is it at the time when somebody's, in their early 30s, where they're starting to get to a point where they might start seeing fine lines or those kind of things? Or is it somebody in their 40s or in their 50s? Like, I think looking at those categories of women have different motivations, different needs, I guess, right?
Yeah. I think most of the people are in their 40s or older, where they in the 30s they're probably relying on the sort of youthful genes to keep them going and try other options first. But by the time you get to 40, you've tried a few things, and the older people have generally, if they've had children, they're sort of out of the home, so they've kind of got more sort of money to spend on themselves. They're not paying for college fees. That's one of the big things. So,
So I wonder what when you look at it, what would be the total cost to do, if I appointed you to, I'm a 40-year-old or mid-40s woman, and I come to you and say, I'm going to put myself in your hands, and I want you to be the, have my face in your hands. I'm going to trust you. I'm going to do whatever you say as far as every product that I put on my face, everything that I do is going to be under your direction and using your products. What would that cost me to do for 6 months, say?
So that's 450 times by 3. Let's do some math. So at 1,300, run about there.
Around 1,300, you said?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's start looking at this and looking at, rather than positioning against other skin cares, let's position against other things that people might do with 1,300 pounds. To have that kind of a result, right? Like when you look at, if any sort of Botox or fillers are going to cost comparable, right?
500, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're injecting, when you get that they're injecting poison in their body.
Yeah.
It just, you could totally be against that kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Now, the other thing is that they're probably, if you are a premium, they're probably doing something. So it's not that it's 1,300 additional pounds.
Yeah.
It's the difference between what they're already doing. They're probably spending on all these other products.
They will be, yes. Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Yes. Okay.
And then when you look at other things that people might do, like getting, cosmetic surgery, if somebody was going to get a facelift or an eye lift or, those kind of things, those are sort of even more expensive, right? When you're positioning against those. But I'm wondering if that's even your audience. Is that the way you're describing them? Is your audience the person who is going to get a facelift or get some cosmetic work done, or are you, or are they more? I'm just trying to zone in and get a real, picture of who your audience is.
That's interesting, Dean, because when I started out, I assumed that my ideal avatar would be kind of like a photocopy sort of myself. And I've accepted over the last year that actually they could be really different. So because I'm the maker, I'm not necessarily the end person as well. So
right.
So I don't know if they would. Certainly most of the people that I currently have, surgery wouldn't be on their list. They would, because they're more the kind of what they call the modern conscious women, and they're into the yoga and
that they're I get it,
and all that kind of non-toxic sort of stuff. So
okay, perfect. I see it. Yeah. So that's like you're kind of like not about. It's not the cosmetic beauty type of business or appeal that you have, but as the natural, really it's more emphasis on the care, right? On the skin care than on the cosmetic of it. And that's on trend too. It's certainly on trend moving towards, and as women get into their 40s, I think you can really see that avatar, you can see who that person is. But what I was getting at was I would look to position this not just as the utility of the skincare, but as a 6-month transformation or a 6-month experience, like ultra care for your skin, where you would position it as, and what would somebody really notice at the end of that 6 months? They would notice that, wow, my skin is as softer than it's ever been. It looks more natural. People are complimenting me. My fine lines are gone. My glow is back. My texture of my skin is there. The color of my skin. All these things that you could show, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's a really interesting whole spin in it, Dean. I had never considered doing it that way, and I mean that sounds so much more, having the experience that then it comes with the products, and they're getting all the support. And if they have questions on other things that they want to use on their kids, they can ask me what I think, and is this safe or dangerous, or because they don't know where to find the information, and I can do that. So
right,
wow,
you see that's the thing where now you've got this attention for the 6 months, and then nobody after that 6 months, there would be probably no way they would go back.
They'll be hooked, Dean. Once anyone's given it a proper fair crack at the whip, it's like giving someone a line of cocaine, They don't go to anyone. So, okay.
That's where you're putting some cocaine in your product there.
I am.
That's okay. I got it. The secret is out. But when you look at that, how long would, like I said 6 months sort of arbitrarily, but would 90 days be the difference? Would 90 days make or would 6 months be better? Where's the tipping point that it would really be dramatic? Like where's 80% of the result? Is that? Mm-hmm.
That's interesting, because the softness factor starts, within like a week. People already, within a day or two, notice things, and it kind of it accumulates. So and if people are eating well and having their vitamins and doing some of those things, the results come sooner. So it kind of depends on the person that you get. If they've arrived and they're a bit uneducated on the healthy way, that they would need more time, certainly. But
and I wonder, when you look at it, that there's certainly, what would it be if somebody didn't change their diet or make dramatic changes to their lifestyle, kind of thing, because you just have to look at too much change in a lot of ways, right? Is something, but would they, just the skincare on its own, would that be 80% as effective without without major lifestyle changes, or?
Are we talking heavy party goers and alcohol and smoking? Because that.
No, I'm saying no. That's not. I'm thinking you're talking about yoga girls, right? You're talking about you're talking about for the right person, right? Like if you're saying
absolutely just the products, if they use just those, and they're having a sort of fairly decent lifestyle, they would definitely get an improvement.
Okay. So would you say how? Yeah, on the dramatic difference-o-meter, would the 90-day difference be dramatically less than the 6-month difference, or the 30-day difference? Like where would be the tipping point that somebody would say, wow, this was really great? Like, does it happen mostly, like if you were mapping out the curve of improvement, would it be in the first 30 days, 60 days, 90 days? How steep would that curve be, or is it gradually continuing to improve, or is it exponential improvement where you kind of then reach a peak and you're getting, sort of incremental improvement beyond that?
Well, I don't have those stats, Dean, I'm afraid.
Just anecdotally, I mean, if you do, like, anecdotally looking at what's happened, do you think that just in your experience of it, would you say that would be that you would have even a better result in 6 months than 90 days, or you're going to get most of the result in the first 90 days and then it's going to maintain and incrementally improve in the next 3 months?
Well, I haven't ever thought about that.
Okay. But it'd be interesting, and the reason that I say that is because if you can get a shorter period of time where they can have a dramatic impact, right? That's going to, right, exactly, that it would be more appealing,
Yeah.
That somebody is willing to give something a shot, and maybe instead of the $1,300, it costs $7.99, or $6.99, or whatever that is for the 90-day experience, and that now sounds like a reasonable thing. Now we're not positioning it and weighing it by the ounce in a jar. We're weighing it by the experience and the transformation in that 90 days. And the products are incidental to it.
Yes. Absolutely. I really like the way of doing that, because once people have built up a habit and they're in it, it's sort of self-fulfilling. Because if it's too short, you can't tell if you've made a real difference or if it's just a fluke. But if it carries on, then you can actually,
Yeah. And that's why I think that idea of, like, if you can show a dramatic improvement, like after 90 days, that would maybe be the course to take, just in your experience when people get the products and try them for 90 days, is that the period where they're now hooked and they're on forever, or and then on the same vein, do you find people who try it for a couple of weeks or try it intermittently that they're not, that they come and go kind of thing, they fly on to the next thing?
I adjusted the price of Heart Eternity last year because it was on at a crazy low price, and so the people that were buying, they kind of fell away, and I didn't do the price change very elegantly, I'm afraid, but it kind of just went up, and the initial people have been grandfathered in or whatever, but the thing I'm having now is people are like, they're trying it in the kit, and it's getting to take the next step. So I haven't been communicating the value or the support they'll get. So obviously that's something I can work on.
Right. Yeah, so this is the thing, is that the trial is not enough to get the benefit, right? They're just, they're seeing the thing. Boy, I think we're on to something here.
Okay.
That might be a thing that you're offering a complete transformation as opposed to just the products, for the experience, the 90 days. Now, part of what would make something like that really work is to do a pilot program, like to put together a 90-day program where you take somebody through that whole process,
Okay. So if they've got questions, they get them answered, because I'm doing that now, but I haven't formalized it. So
Right. And there's the same questions and the same things. It's like you get the chance to educate people about all of these things along the way, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I think that what that really would do is that then people become an educated, they become an educated convert after that 90 days. That now they understand, they've seen the difference. You've described what the difference will be. You've set the expectation of what they can look for, and they're experiencing it, and you're celebrating it, and they're reporting on it, and we're photographing it, and you're, creating case studies. That's really kind of the cool thing, that if you've got all these people raving about the transformational effect of using your skincare experience for 90 days, that's going to encourage people to take that step, and you'll be cementing them as return clients. That's where you're building your after unit of all these ladies who continue to use your products.
Yeah. Okay. Now, that's interesting, because I want to do my first video testimonial with my best customer. We're going to do it in the next couple of weeks. So that would give me a reason to ask certain questions of her anyway, because that would be useful for that.
Yeah, no, she's been doing it for quite some time. She's all in.
2 years or 3 years, and she only uses my things now. She's completely, just that's all she uses. So
she's who you're looking to build more up, right?
Yeah, I'd photocopy her in an instant.
Yeah. How many of her do you have right now?
I have 2 of her, and then I have a bunch of people that are just buying, 1 or 2 items, maybe 3 items, sort of less sporadically. But I mean, that would be my goal, is to have a small group of ladies that, I'm their sort of, I call myself the skincare alchemist or something like that.
That's exactly it. That's the thing, and that's maybe the way that when people, there's certainly such an opportunity to orchestrate referrals. I mean, in this whole situation. But I think it's going to come down to creating that experience and taking a group of ladies through this kind of transformation, Whereas, because you look at it, that's I think if you had a group of I don't know how you would start up, but maybe if you had a group of 10 or 20 ladies that would go through something like that, that there's a that could be a really nice start to it.
How would I do that, Dina? So would I provide product to, say, 10 people on condition we did testimonials and videos and all that sort of stuff, and then that's like the foundation, that's the investment, and then it gets sort of launched as a thing when that's done. Is that what you're suggesting?
Well, I would suggest that you could probably market it as, an experience that people would pay for, but certainly you could do it, to test it. You have great margins, I imagine, on the stuff, like your physical cost of doing the product. Yeah.
Yeah. But on the main face cream, yes, and that was why the actual price went up, because I hadn't been doing that. So that's definitely that has room to maneuver now. So
yeah. So I would think that if you, because again, when you're looking at it as an experience, that somebody is, you take any kind of thing. If they were to join a gym or to work with a personal trainer or to go to a tanning salon. I mean, all these things that are a 700-pound investment over a 90-day period there's when you're framing it like that, it makes a lot more sense, right?
Yeah, because I've noticed people pay a significant number for an experience, even if it's a virtual experience, that when it comes down to a physical product, it's like, oh, that's more than a cup of coffee. And, it's like, well, it's actually
Yes, exactly.
Oh.
I think it's almost like you make the experience is free, or the experience is 700 pounds, but the products come with it, or that it's
exactly.
you're right. That's the thing, is that they get this education, and it's self-serving in so many ways, because an educated, bought in, fully converted person at the end of 90 days is worth a lot to you over a lifetime, right?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And those, it's such a joy when people order, because my best customers absolutely love me, and I love them back. It's marvelous. It's you always. They're the kind of people I like dealing with. So.
Yeah. Like I think you're in the perfect time right now. If you had this almost where you could work with somebody to get in so they'll have perfect skin for the holidays, September, you start this. I think if you targeted to start this in September, that I think that would be an amazing thing.
For Christmas.
Perfect skin for Christmas. I mean, that's really what it is,
Yeah. Wow. And people do spend, when they get, what I've noticed, some of the comments, people say, well, I want to treat myself, so they say I'll buy something. So there's always those sort of words associated with it. They know it's something nice.
Yeah.
They do appreciate it. I love how you've turned it on its head, Dean. I mean, an experience with products attached rather than being this, trying to sell the product.
Yeah. Right, because now they're making an intellectual, choice around the products that they're looking, but an experience is an emotional thing. It's a different, I'm worth it. I'm gonna invest in this, and at the end, I'm gonna have this amazing experience. I mean, it's a couple of spa days in the big scheme of things,
Yeah.
I mean, that's really.
Yeah.
Well, or one. I mean, yeah. I mean,
Jimmy Choo's.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
It's that's exactly it, right? It's the Jimmy Choo's that keep giving and giving.
Wow.
Well, I'm excited to see how that works out, and I know that Tanya can help you with the emails for inviting your ladies, just kind of presenting that to them.
Yeah.
But I think that's going to be a pretty amazing thing.
Yeah. Oh wow, this is so helpful, Dean. I mean, I don't know how to say thank you. So.
Well, keep me posted. That's how you say thank you. You tell me all about it, how it all works. You do it.
Yeah. Oh, well, thank you very, very much for this. Just getting someone who sees it from completely another angle, it makes a huge difference, because I was kind of swimming. When you're out at sea and you're not quite sure which direction you're going at, and when the lighthouse switches on, you think, row that way.
Yeah, perfect. Well, I'm excited. I can't wait to see how this works out.
Thank you so much, Dean. This is I'm looking forward to getting on with it, and
awesome.
I will keep you updated.
We'll see you next year in London. That'll be perfect. We'll celebrate.
That'd be great. Okay.
Perfect. Thanks, Wendy.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye now.
And there we have it. Another great episode. Now, that was a really interesting discussion. It really transformed into something different than what we started out with. And I'm a firm believer in focusing on delivering results for people. And I think there's no better way than to create an experience. And if you can create the experience that creates the result, and do it in a way that you can document that so that people will have evidence of other people going on before them who have reached that destination of the promised land of the result that you're delivering. So at the end of Wendy's experience, people are going to end up with softer, more glowing skin that feels better. They're getting compliments and knowing that they're doing it all with natural ingredients and the best quality products that they can do. And they're getting an education that will help them maintain that for life. So that, wherever you are, it starts with doing it the first time. And that could be a case study program where you select some people to go through the program and document everything. And maybe they get more attention, more care, because your real purpose is to deliver the result for people. So you want to get engaged and you want to make sure that as many people as possible get a documented result, no matter what it is that you are, whatever it is that you're offering. So I think that's going to be a really great opportunity for a lot of people listening to this. And that's, I've been doing that case study type of program with our email mastery program. And so I teach people exactly the emails and the sequence and the way to apply this case study experience kind of model to whatever it is you're doing. So I would invite you, if that's something that you feel like there might be an opportunity for you, send me an email to dean@deanjackson.com and put email mastery in the subject line. And I'll send you the details of our email mastery case study program. And I would love to work with you to create some documented results for whatever you're working on with email. So that's it. And as always, you can continue the conversation by going to morecheeselesswhiskers.com, and you can download a copy of the More Cheese, Less Whiskers book. And if you click on the Be a Guest link, you can be a guest on the show and we can hatch some evil schemes for your business. So that's it for this week. Have a great week. I'll talk to you next time.